Hi guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to be replacing the back bumper on the 16-10. This thing's had a smash, bash and everything you can think of. So I've even got a new top for it. So let's get the coffee and let's get into it. Right, so first things first, let's get this off. Put it to the side. And as you can see, the back bumper, it's had a good bash. And I didn't even notice until I was doing another repair. So let's get the screwdriver. It should be a relatively quick and simple repair. I don't even know if this is the right screw. I'm cack-handed, so we're gonna have to do it that way. And I think it's literally like 10 screws. Yeah, it is like 4 screws at the back. So let's get them off. I don't even know when I did this because I noticed it, like I said, when I was doing the diff change. If you've not seen that video, go and watch that. That's a good video. It's a bit long, so I've done 2 versions of it. So, but yeah, it's a good video. Right, what bit now? So I've taken them 4 screws out there, and then it looks like there's 2 screws there. So we'll put that on there. They're quite long screws, they are. So make sure I don't lose them. Got a spare set, but well, that should, in theory, now just come off. Right, there's 1 screw underneath at the back. I don't know if you can see that, but it's right there. Keep my fingers out of the way. So let's hold this at the best plate. That's it, it's come away. Remember to get that screw out. You can see that. It should really, to be fair, just push out. But it's going to call me a liar. I've got to unscrew it. So it's the same screw, long ones. We want to keep the bumper. So the replacement, there's grease on that. So the replacement is that one. It's literally just a rear bumper. Let's get that out of the packaging. And it's literally, the whole thing is a full replacement. But there's no wheelie bar for this, so we've got to take the wheelie bar off here and put it on there. So let's do that. So let's get that back on there. I have noticed that the bit that's holding this suspension arms in place is now loose, so don't lose that. Where's my other wheel gone? Right, let's put that to one side for a second. Right, so then what we need to do is take the wheelie bar off. So if you can't leave the screws in, as you can see, look at, it's completely destroyed that side. Right, that's off. Now this screws into the front there, so you see them 2 screws, I'm going to take them out, but this screws directly onto that, so let's take that off, take that off. as you can see, look at the state of that. That's funny. That it's laughable, but well, it is what it is. So let's take them 2 screws out there. These screws hold that bumper bit. It's like a suppression, if you like. So it's a wall, let's say. It absorbs the crash rather than damaging it. So we've got that off. Put them back on there. Just line it up. As you can see, there's little plastic feet, if you like. Make sure that goes in there. Same on that side. It's relatively, you can feel it. I've still got the screws on there, so they should, yeah. So we're straight on there. And as you can see, as it's bit down, it's nice and tight now. It's a relatively simple repair, but there's a lot of screws to it and parts. So, and then just tighten them screws up. Try not to lose your screws. If you can, keep the screws in, because then you know where they are. Right. Make sure it's nice and tight. And now it's just a case of putting it, as you can see, now it's just a case of putting it back onto the cart. So we'll bring the cart back over. So I'll try and do that in the front here. So as you can see underneath there, I don't know if you can see there, let's move that out of the way. As you can see there, it's got to go on there. There's some grease on there, but that's okay. So as you put it on, just push it on, and then you've got to make sure that everything slots in line. So as you can see at the top there, just pull it up and it'll seat on. It's a bit more fiddly than it looks. Right, that's on. So I'm going to put them 2 top screws in first. Where are they? So we put the 2 top screws in, and then hopefully the bottom one will just slide in. So, right, I've not screwed that in tight, but you can see that sits on there now, like that. So as you can see, underneath, I'm going to spin this around, and you can see them 2 metal pieces there. So there, and there's one there. They sit inside this plastic, so just push that all the way on, and you can see it's all flush now. And then I'm going to put one of the tiny screws in to get it started, so it's in place, so I know it's not going to move. In fact, I'm going to do all 4. Let's get all 4. One's come out. God. Oh. If you can hear that humming in the background, I apologise. It's the batteries that are on charge, because I'm going out in a bit with my lad. So that's the reason why I'm doing this repair. So that's on there now. So that's nice and secure. And we've got 3 screws left. And why? Make sure all the screws are used. Make sure you can see that. So it's down nice and secure. And then we've got 1 screw left, if you remember, it sits in the bottom there, just there. So we'll sit it at a funny angle, we'll get rid of that. And then that screw goes in there. Oh, that's the battery's finished. Right, I've not screwed that in all the way, so you should be able to see that. It's quite tight because it's new, but remember to make sure you put that on. That screw is quite important because it don't just screw the plastic to this metal bit here, it screws that to the body as well, so make sure that screws in nice and tight. Maybe put some Loctite on it. I'm not going to put Loctite on it, but that's pretty much it. That's bumper done. Ready for a bit more of a bash. Just put that back on. That's nice. Nice lid to that. Not different colour from the previous one, but yeah, looks nice. Right, if you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe. Go see the other videos like diff change. That's quite a lengthy video. So there's 2 videos. So what I've done is I've done a full in-depth every stage, which is like an hour long, and then I've done a quick 10-minute one where I talk at the beginning and then I've just hyperlapsed it. So hope you enjoyed this one. Hit me up in the comments if there's anything else you can think of comment wise that I may have missed or you want me to cover off next. But every time I break these things, I'm going to try and document them to just help others. It's an easy fix, but it can be a bit complex for some people. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next.